Hello. Right, okay, final day. This is crazy. It's, I think, just gone 10 o'clock, and we've seen off 3 of our 4 flights, and on the 4th one I'm going with, so I've come back to my cabin, I'm about to shower and change and put away my last things and pack away my last things, etc, etc. But as of right now, my cabin definitely does not look like that of someone who is about to leave. Let me flip the camera and show you. I've obviously got all my devices and things going on there. Got my notebooks, bags, this stuff. I think that's it. And then a couple of things in the cupboard, but I have dealt with most of that. And I don't think there's anything left in the bathroom, so that's good. I just can't quite believe I'm actually leaving. It's crazy. But as I said, I'm gonna go get changed now. I'll shower and then change. Put away as much as I can, except like my toothbrush, which I'll probably want after lunch. Having lunch at 12, so then I'll still have time after that as well. But there's actually, even though it does look like a mess, there's not that much for me to do. But I need to shower first to be able to do everything else. And then I need to hoover my room as well. Crazy! Also, it's a gorgeous day outside. Unfortunately, there is a ship next to us, so I can't show you, but you would have seen the footage from this morning. But even now, it's still really sunny and warm and blue sky. It's gorgeous. So it's a really lovely way to finish. Crazy! Crazy, crazy. All right. I'll see you all later. All right then, this is it. It's about 20 past 1 and we've had lunch, I've showered, I've done everything I need to do, I've packed every last minute thing. I'll show you the room in a minute. The only thing at the moment I'm doing is charging my phone because it's on 77% and I wanted to get as close to 100% as possible. But aside from that, it's time to go, basically. It's so strange walking down the corridors and seeing all the beds fully unmade. Like usually they remake them very quickly. But now they've left them totally stripped bare and it's such a strange sight. Because you walk along the corridor, all the doors are open and just each cabin is the same. It's really, really odd. And then I went to bring my laundry and you could see like the bags of linen and things like that. And then I went up to the galley and that was also being like properly scrubbed, cleaned and emptied and everything. It's just really strange, very strange. End of seasons are always weird. But I'm really looking forward to going home. Because my mum's gonna be there, and my grandma, and it's gonna be so nice. I don't know what I just said. I hope something coherent came out. When I last weighed my bags, which was last night, I believe, they were both at about 10 kilos. I think combined they were under 20 kilos. I have put quite a few more things in the big bag, so we will see if that changes things. But I doubt it, we'll see. I still think I'm well within my weight limits. And then, for now, I'm gonna chance it. I'm flying Wizz Air. And I'm gonna wear this little bag as well as my actual backpack because this can then carry, you know, the things I need on hand, like my phone and camera. But if they don't let me, I do have space in my bag to pop it in, so we'll make it work. It's really warm, so I keep almost forgetting about my jumper because it's still in the cupboard, so I should probably take it out because I do want to bring it with me, obviously. I'll definitely need it in the UK. What else did I want to say? There was something else. Can't remember now. Well, in the meantime, while I try and think of it, do you want to have a look at my cabin? Ignore the bed, it's a bit messy. Charging my phone, that's where my camera was as well. Bed with my last few minute things. My 2 cases and my backpack. Everything else is empty, I believe. Ta-da. Need to not forget that jumper. Ta-da. And I think the bathroom, ta-da, is also all clean and empty. So there you have it. Very, very close to the end. Very strange. It still doesn't feel real. And I don't think it will until, like, the end of winter, to be honest. But we shall see. I can't remember now what I was going to try and say. Oh yes, I do remember. I feel very spoiled this week. We've got quite a few really generous tips. And then we've also opened the big tip box. And we got another really generous tip in there as well. The general tip box doesn't tend to be for us, but these people had specifically written our names on it, so obviously they gave it to us. And it feels really nice. Especially because I gave my mum lots of cash because she needed it for something. So I'd got rid of all my tip money, which she paid me back obviously in pounds, but I was looking at my wallet and it just looked so empty because I had nothing. And now it's still not like overly full because that's just not my life. But it's definitely fuller now. I've got, you know, at least 120, 110 and 1.5 euro note, which is useful. And makes me feel good about going into winter because otherwise I'd be going into Germany with no money. Well, no cash. But I feel very spoiled. Is that the right word? I don't know. Just very grateful. And it's not necessary, but it is really lovely. It's just such a nice gesture and I really appreciate it. And it means a lot. I've got nothing else to do now for the next half hour or so. Feels very strange. I might bring my luggage out already so that I've got it ready, and then I only need to worry about my backpack. Strange, strange, strange. All right, I'll see you all later. Aha! All right, I've not really had a chance to film anything yet, but I'm back. I had a really good journey yesterday. Budapest airport has got to be one of my favourite airports. I don't know if I filmed any of this. I don't think I did, to be honest. But when I got there earlier than I was expecting, which was really good. And check-in didn't open for another 50 minutes. And I was like, ah. But then I noticed, sorry, my phone is going crazy. Why is it going crazy? But then I got there and there was a specific area that said self-bag drop. And in that section, it did say that my flight was on there. It was part of the self-bag drop service. So I thought, I'll try it. It was unbelievably easy. All I had to do was print out 2 luggage labels, pop them round, and then put them on the conveyor belt. I think in the end, one case was about 9.5 and the other one was, I think, 12.3, I want to say, 13.4. It was something like that. It wasn't more than 13. So that was brilliant for me. And then it was really smooth sailing through the airport. I sat at a section which had a charger, so I was very happy about that. I charged all my devices and I ended up having to help a friend with the self-tape. So there I was in the airport whispering into my microphone, but we did it. And then I forgot about the bit where there's the second passport control, so at some point I started to get nervous and I went through the passport control, but there was hardly a line there. That took me literally not even 2 minutes, I think. And then I sat at the gate and I was really confused for ages because I thought my gate was B10, but it was B12, and I could not find B10 anywhere. And then when I got to B12, I couldn't actually see if it was the right flight. I could see it was Wizz Air, but I couldn't see where it was flying to, and I was just hoping for the best. And then we started boarding early, and we landed early in the end. I listened to, like a third of a new book, which was good, interesting, called The Historian. Got through the airport very quickly. My bags were one of the first on the carousel. There was a little bit of a wait at passport control on the other end, but even that wasn't terrible. It was longer than I'm used to in recent years. But when I compare it to how it used to be, it was still a breeze. Managed to get an earlier coach, saw my mum, had supper with my mum and her friends, had a really nice mushroom quiche, and then came here and kind of went to bed and had a bit of a restless night. We had some things happen, but we're all good. And now, I've unpacked my 2 cases from the summer stuff, but obviously they've all got summer clothes, hence why I'm wearing this. And it's very autumnal weather outside. Not freezing, but certainly not weather that you want to wear summer clothes in. And the only shoes I've got left that have survived the season are the white trainers, so I've been wearing those. But I've just gone into my grandma's garage and pulled out this monster, which isn't loving me at the moment. So I'm gonna go through it and see what winter clothes I can find and what I can swap, etc, etc. The room is an absolute mess, but that's because both me and my mum are kind of in and out of suitcases at the moment, and I need to figure out where I'm gonna put a lot of my stuff from the summer. But first, I need to get my winter clothes ready for the winter season. Ideally, I would like to try and pack as much of it as I can already, or even not pack, but at least have it out and ready to be packed. And then I also want some clothes, obviously, that I can wear while I'm here. And I'm gonna try to do it in one case for the winter. I'm gonna try. We shall see, but I'm gonna try. All right. I don't think I'm gonna vlog it though, because my grandma's gonna be coming in any minute, but that's what I'm up to. Yay! Hello! I am back in the UK. Yay! And what I want to do is, this last week I had the absolute privilege of seeing 6 shows in 1 week. It blows my mind. It's amazing. That's just unbelievable. So what I'm gonna do is I'm very briefly gonna talk about each show and each day. And as I'm talking, I'll put over clips of the things I'm talking about, and then after each show, a lot of the shows I filmed sort of the ending music, because it's the one bit of music of the orchestra that you get to film, so I wanted to. So I'll put that in sort of in between where I've got them. So I landed Wednesday night, and then Thursday night we went to see Noises Off, which I have seen once before and loved, and I've also studied a few times and played in. as various roles, and it was still excellent. It was not as funny as the first time, and I presume that's just because the first time I had no idea what I was going into, whereas by now, obviously, I knew it very, very well, but it was still very, very funny, and I still spent basically the entire time laughing, which is good. And in a way, having studied it and having played some of the characters, it made it even more funny, because there were little things I noticed. And we had excellent seats, and all around it was just brilliant. Now, just before I continue, I do plan on making a all the shows I've seen in 2023 video, maybe even including 2022. So I'm not going too in-depth here, and that video, if it exists, will go up either before or after this video, who really knows. Then Friday night was the only night we didn't go see a show because, as I've mentioned before, I'm Jewish, so we have Shabbat, which is like a Jewish holiday. We're not allowed to go out, really. Well, you can, but there's lots of rules. I won't go into it now. But we didn't do anything Friday night. And then Saturday night, we went to Back to the Future, which I have seen before, but I was with my mum and she hadn't. And again, I just really enjoyed it. There were lots of bits I'd forgotten about. There were some bits which I loved. I mentioned last time I went to see it that I whooped and that kind of caused a cheer from everyone else. And I did that again this time and the same thing happened again. So that was brilliant. That made me very happy. I felt very proud. But yeah, it's just an awesome show and I highly recommend it. And I can't remember what our seats were like for this one. They were all right. They weren't as good as when I first went to see it. But I have been to the Adelphi before and many times. It's probably the theatre I visited the most. And it's just a very good theatre in my opinion. I feel like there's not really a bad seat. Next, Sunday, we booked a very last minute show. We went to see Rebecca and we went to see the matinee. And the cast was brilliant, really talented, and you could tell, and there were some songs that were just so beautiful, but the production was not the best I've seen. And I will leave it at that. Again, I might go into more depth about it in a different video. It was all right. Then, Monday night, we went to see The Time Traveller's Wife. We got rush tickets for this, and this was interesting when I tried to get the rush tickets, because I'm always ready at 10 o'clock. And I clicked on it, and it said, sorry, all seats are being held. And then I waited about half a minute, 45 seconds, I kept clicking it, and eventually it opened up for us. So we had quite good seats for this, and again, it's not like the next big musical theatre show. Like, I think song-wise, there were some good songs, but it wasn't necessary. It's not Les Miserables. But as a show, it was incredible. And I love David Hunter. I am a very big fan of David Hunter. And I cried through the entirety of the second act. I have seen the movie about 2 years ago, but I'd forgotten most of it. So I loved it. Then on Tuesday night, another one that was kind of unexpected, we went to see Hamnet, which is a play. Apparently it's based off a book, I didn't know this, but it was really, really good. We paid for some of the cheapest tickets, but they are the very front row, but the reason they're so cheap is because the stage is quite high, so you have to look up. But I felt like it was a steal because it meant we got to see their expressions like really clearly, and you get to see the things that you would otherwise miss. And the show was just really strong. The actors were really strong. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would really recommend it. It was one of the best plays I've seen. Although I think I've not seen that many plays. And I don't really count Noises Off as a play in my head because it's just so silly and fun. But it was brilliant. And then last but not least, Wednesday night, I managed to get £5 tickets for Treason. And I was not interested really in seeing Treason. I know a couple of the songs, but it's not been very high on my priority list. But when I saw £5 tickets, I couldn't pass that up. And as horrible as it is, I'm glad I only paid £5 because it wasn't my favourite. Again, the cast, you could tell, were talented. It was opening night as well. And you could see it wasn't quite as polished as maybe it should have been. But the story, and again, I don't know much about the story, so maybe it would have been better if I'd gone in with some background knowledge. But it just wasn't. I don't know, it just didn't flow nicely in my opinion. Again, I will talk about everything in more depth at some point, but that's all I wanted to say. I think I'm now going to end the vlog. I don't know how long or short it is, but I think this is just a nice 1 week vlog. And then we will start another vlog for my travels to Holland and back to the ship, I think. I don't know if I'll combine those, we'll see. But very importantly, something I've decided on these last few days is I'm going to be uploading a singing video once per week on the Saturdays. At least for now, maybe this will change depending on life. But for now, I've got one scheduled in every Saturday night around 10:30 after Shabbat. And they are all from my river cruise. So keep an eye out for that. I hope you like them. I hope they're okay. I'm very nervous about it. But that is all. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you've seen any of these shows and what your thoughts are. Keep an eye out for my actual video about all the shows I've seen this year. And I'll see you all very soon with another video. Goodbye!